let's talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. So first off, this game is super impressive visually. I mean, the monster designs, as usual, are pretty peak. The level design is pretty awesome. I loved actually moving around the world on the secrets, just like platforming to different areas was really cool. The character models are really cool. The cinematic cutscenes in this game are top notch. The only complaint I have visually for this game was like the dialogue sequences when they're just talking to main characters. That seemed to be a little bit janky, and the lip sync seemed to be a little bit off on that. But outside of that, visually this game is pretty on point. I think Capcom did a great job. You can see where the RE engine starts to struggle a little bit at some points. I'd say this game is doing pretty nice. Gameplay wise, this game is pretty awesome. I was a little bit concerned after playing the beta that I really wasn't going to be into it, but after playing with it for a while, and I actually tried a different build than I did in the beta. I went for the dual blades during my main gameplay, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. It's fun, it's fast, those focus thrusts are so awesome. I love targeting enemies' weak points. It just makes combat feel a little bit more engaging. Seems like they've improved like the dodging in this one a little bit, in my opinion. Yeah, I liked, especially when you're fighting the monsters and say they run off to a different location, you have to find them. I feel like maybe I'm wrong here, but it almost felt like it was easier to track them for me. Being able to hop on the secret and have them kind of like auto run you to the monster's location, and you're just kind of chilling there, like you can be like sharpening your weapon or healing or eating something while you're doing that. Like it just is like, it's a very more fluid experience. I know there's a lot of people saying it's much easier. Obviously, once you get to like the end game content, that's when the real grind starts, and that's when the real challenge hits you. I was okay with just enjoying the main storyline being kind of simple personally. The multiplayer seems to work well, and as far as this game goes, it's very quick. You know, you shoot up an SOS flare and somebody's gonna pop into your game. I did notice that sometimes it was just bots that were hopping in, but when I did get other players in the game, it was flawless. I mean, I didn't notice any issues with it at all, surprisingly. So I think Capcom did a great job this time around. We see so many games launch and their multiplayer just isn't working well. We see it with even the From Software games. So I was happy that this launched and it worked out pretty well so far. So I'm excited to just keep playing with other people. And honestly, I enjoyed combat much more when I was playing with other people. It's not that it was hard playing solo. I actually didn't find myself needing to summon players very often. It just made it more chaotic, which I enjoyed. I just liked watching me and the other players or bots or whatever just hopping around, kicking the monsters' asses. It just makes for a much more fun experience, which I know it's been said in the past that these games are probably just better playing multiplayer. So I think they did a great job combat-wise. I know I'm kind of rambling here. I'm just really excited about the gameplay here. I just think that Capcom did a phenomenal job gameplay-wise. Story-wise, it's pretty simple. You're kind of going to this new land to investigate it. You end up having to look for this white wraith after you've discovered this boy being chased. And that's pretty much the premise of what you're doing in the game, is trying to find this monster. And you go to these different areas, and it almost felt like an anime, just like every different area you went to had like its own little mini storyline and this overarching storyline. And every chapter kind of felt like it was complete once you finished it. I think they did a phenomenal job as far as that side of it goes. But for the most part, I know that the story is just here to kind of move the gameplay along. But it was still pretty good. So overall, I think Monster Hunter Wilds takes everything I enjoyed about Monster Hunter Worlds and kind of enhances on it a little bit. Nothing too different here as far as like a few extra mechanics like the focus thrust and really utilizing the secrets to get around the world and to get out of sticky situations, because you find yourself in that quite a bit here. Of course, like I said, the combat is much easier in this game, but once you hit the end game, it seems like it really picks up the pace and you really start to see the difficulty spike. But I actually enjoyed it, and I never really felt myself struggling too much that I needed to play multiplayer. I played a lot of it solo, but it was actually almost more enjoyable for me multiplayer, just having the chaos of me and a bunch of other people fighting the monsters. Of course, visually the game is impressive. I think the RE engine is doing a pretty good job holding up here. I know there was a lot of skepticism during the beta for the game, but I think I'm impressed with how well this engine is holding up in an open world game. I think that there was a little bit of jankiness in the cutscenes. That's really my only complaint, when you're in a dialogue sequence and there seemed to be like a lip sync issue at some points, and characters looked a little washed and a little bit janky animations there. But when you're watching like the cinematic cutscenes, whew, Yeah, Capcom's cooking with that one. So the environments look phenomenal. I liked the monster designs. I think they did a great job really stepping it up visually with the monster designs here. Yeah, man, Capcom, again, like I said, they really utilized the RE engine for what it's worth here. I think they're really pushing it to its limits almost. Story-wise, I think, you know, it really is better than I wanted it to be. I thought it was just going to be kind of commonplace, but it was pretty entertaining at points. Definitely felt like anime-like. The cutscenes for the story are fucking crazy. I think they're over the top. I like that it didn't feel too long. I think I clocked in probably 20 plus hours, but I definitely took my time and did some like optional quests as well, so that might have been part of that. If you're looking for a great Monster Hunter experience, if you enjoyed Monster Hunter World and you want to see what I think is a proper evolution to the series and is a kind of precursor to what's to come, definitely check out Monster Hunter Wilds. I think Capcom's done a phenomenal job with this game. I'm excited to go back and play it some more. So let's talk about it down below. Peace.